and we say hello to you from Joseph A. Gregory High School Stadium on a cool, crisp October night right smack in the middle of fall, and the perfect site for a Friday night high school football showdown between the visiting 5-2 Turlock Bulldogs and the home 4-3 Enochs Eagles. Hello to you wherever you may be, wherever you may go. Keith Joganatis on the call with you tonight, joined by my friend, my color commentator, my partner, Dustin Pageant, D-Page. This is a big game with huge SeaCal League implications. As it stands right now, both Turlock and Gregory coming into this week are undefeated in league play at 2-0, followed by Downey at 1-1 and Enochs at 1-1 after losing 56-40 to Downey last week. This is a game that Enochs and their home crowd, which has packed these stands, think they can pull it off and knock off Turlock off their perch and end this winning streak tonight.
Hey, Keith, this is their homecoming game, okay? They're here ready to play. They came off a loss last week, as you mentioned. They gave up 56 points. That is a ton of points to give up in the game of football. So look for them to shore up the defensive side of the ball here tonight. Try to control the clock on the ground. Try to get off to an early start. On the other side of the map, we've got the Turlock Bulldogs coming in here tonight with a little bit of a storyline here, Keith. They've got Dalton Lin as the starting quarterback tonight. He is their backup. Brock Paisley is injured tonight, so that could be a very big teller of what may happen here in the early going. Let's see what Lin is able to do. As you mentioned, the big storyline here tonight, this offense for the Bulldogs of Turlock High School, which has been rolling and firing on all cylinders, has a bit of a plot and a backstory here as Brock Paisley, who has a sprained ankle from what we've been told by the team and medical staff. He might get the start tonight. He may not. What we do know is that Dalton Lin, during warm-ups, has taken a majority of the snaps with the first-team offense. Dalton Lin actually was the starting quarterback for the junior varsity team when he was in JV. Brock Paisley was his backup, and they've switched roles as Lin is one of their speedsters out there on the wideout position. But Dalton Lin, last week showing you what he could do on the ground, as Lin had 123 yards on 6 carries and 2 touchdowns running the football. Tonight, we'll see him throw the football. If there's one thing we do know is that Dalton Lin can rack up yards with that speed of his. Oh, yeah, we've seen Dalton Lin have some amazing plays. Just last week, he had a breakout run and 60-yard touchdown runs, and he's fast. And on that play alone, I remember we were talking in the highlight show yesterday where he just took off and beat the cornerback down the sideline. It was purely speed. So Lin is one of their fastest players. That could benefit them here tonight because, as we know, the Bulldogs are a running team. They love to ground and pound, and so do the Enochs Eagles. So this game here, Keith, we could see a lot of running happening. We could see a lot of running indeed because the Enochs Eagles are no stranger to running the football themselves. They come into this contest averaging 226 rushing yards per game, 17 total touchdowns, and of those 17 total touchdowns, 10 of those have been through the ground. So these are two teams that like to run the football. As we see to our left, the Enochs Eagles meeting at around the 35-yard line. They are amped in. The one thing we do know about Turlock during this winning streak is that this offense has been rolling, but it hasn't just been Dalton Lin. It's been Anthony Frias, who came back last week after he missed the Downey game with a nick injury after playing only one defensive play, didn't even play any offense. And on the other side, for Enochs, they've got a quarterback in Ben Harless, who really is the heart and soul of this team. Harless said in the paper last year that they were not well enduranced to play all 4 quarters. He says this year, with a great summer program, they are ready to play all 4 quarters, and they are ready tonight to shock the world. It would be a big shocker if Enochs at home knocked off Turlock, wouldn't it? It definitely would, Keith, and as you were mentioning in the standings, not only would it be a big shocker, but it would really shake up the standings here in the SeaCal. You know, if they win this game, they'll be 2-1, and Turlock's going to fall to 2-1, and depending on what happens with Gregory and Downey this evening, we could feasibly, Keith, be in another 4-way tie after this week. All 4 teams could end up at 2-1. We had a 4-way tie going into this 2 weeks ago, you know, even though that was the first week of the league, the second week of the league, you know, still. This very close league. Could be a good game tonight. Enochs needs to come up with a big home win. It'll be a good game indeed. We will go to commercial for just a few short minutes. We've got less than 5 minutes before we'll kick this football off. Lock up the kids and hide your wives. It's Turlock, it's Enochs, and it's on the NorCal Sports TV channel.
Does your protein shake have the real symbol? And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real?
We welcome you back here on the NorCal Sports TV Network. Enochs and Turlock getting ready to kick this football off. Keith Jogananis alongside my partner, Dustin Paget. So, Dustin Paget, real quick, give me 3 keys to the game. If I'm Turlock, what are the 3 things that are going to help me win a 4th consecutive football game tonight?
Tonight, my 3 keys for Turlock: feed the ball to Frias. He had an amazing game last week. He's been a little bit hurt this past few weeks. You know, they've been giving the ball to Gonzalez and Lin. Gave Frias a little bit of time off. Last week he blew up. He had an amazing game. Look for him tonight. Second key of the game is to manage the game. We got Lin in there as the backup quarterback, you know, so don't try to go down the field deep. Don't be doing some crazy plays. Try to keep this ball in your possession as most as possible. And for the third key of the game, to stop the Enochs offense, you got to play some solid defense tonight. Even though Enochs lost last week, Keith, they scored 40 points. So, you know, we know that they can score. We know that they can be offensively prolific. They've got over 200 yards a game rushing. So you're going to have to stop that run game if you're the Turlock Bulldogs.
And what about the Enochs Eagles?
Hey, Enochs Eagles, you're at home. So for your 3 keys of the game, you want to eat up this homecoming environment. That is the number 1 key. You're here at home. You got all your fans here. As you see, they're warming up. They're announcing each player. They're announcing their parents. This is an important night for these young men. They're not going to have this night again. So take that, eat it up. Second key of the game for them is they need to be defensively sound tonight. They gave up 56 points last week, Keith, and that, you know, you're not going to win a football game giving up 56 points, but very rarely. You know, you're going to obviously have to score more than 56. So see if they can, you know, take the advantage of the Lin situation and keep Turlock under 20 points, maybe even 25 points, somewhere around that range. You know, you don't want them scoring any more than that. Third key of the game here for Enochs: have a good running game. You average over 200 yards a game. If you do that again tonight, you're likely going to come out with either a win or a good opportunity to win.
James Stacy in his 10th year as Enochs Eagles head football coach. He talked about how 2 years ago they started this mantra. They have these workout shirts that they've been using all year with 4 different shirts, and each shirt says something different with the words compete, toughness, team, and ownership on each individual shirt. He said it's our mantra. We started it 2 years ago. Don't blame anyone else. We are together, and we work together, and tonight they will have to work together to take down Turlock and end this 3-game winning streak. And for Turlock on the other side, James Peterson had a coach on the phone call as usual, and I said, Coach, what are you trying to focus on this week? Last week you tried to focus on having a complete game, and he said, we're going for a shutout. We are going to try defensively to stop this high-octane offense, and tonight we will see who can do what. It's Enochs. It's Turlock. It's next on NorCal Sports TV. Don't go anywhere. We welcome you back, NorCal Sports TV. Keith Jogonanis, Dustin Pageant, as Enochs and Turlock will now meet at midfield. The team captains exchanging pleasantries. And Dustin Pageant, these are the moments right here before a football game where you know what's at stake. Everyone's going to go out there and play their hardest. And what are you trying to focus on if you're a player as you engage with the other team and just try to lock in on what you have to do tonight?
Hey, you know what? For Turlock's sake, you want to lock in on the fact that put this homecoming thing aside. Don't worry about that. Don't let that get in your mindset here tonight. That does not matter to you. You're here to play a football game. On the Enoch side, that's also something that they may want to consider. They don't want to overhype the homecoming situation. I know they're all happy. They're all having a good time. We all remember as former high schoolers what homecoming night is like and what homecoming games are like. That is an experience in itself. So Enoch's, despite all that, they have to play a football game here tonight, Keith. So they have to, as you said, lock in. And to do that, what you need to do is get the game started. We're doing the coin toss here. Once the game gets going in the flow of things, homecoming night, for a few hours at least for these players, will be forgotten.
This is a big game in the SeaCal, as we mentioned, and we will see what the results are of the coin toss right now. As Enochs will receive the football first, they will work from left to right to start the first half. Turlock will go on defense, and why not? If you're Turlock, your defense has been stout the last couple of weeks. You've had 3 or more sacks in the last 3 consecutive victories, and that is a defensive line, Dustin Pageant, that has been getting better and better as the weeks have gone by.
Yeah, definitely, Keith. In the past few weeks, not only has Turlock been winning their games, but they've been giving them very few points. Their defense is really stepping up their game. They've had a little bit of a up and down season, as you mentioned. They've had a couple of games where they didn't show up that evening and they didn't come out with wins. The game versus Downey that they played just a couple weeks ago was a good example of them turning things around. And here, as you see tonight, Keith, they're ready to play. They're super amped up. Both sides are amped up, so this should be a really well fought battle.
The Enochs High School Band will march out to near midfield as we will put our hands over our hearts to honor our country. The national anthem up next. A big-time football game right afterwards here on NorCal Sports TV. The Enochs High School Marching Band with a beautiful rendition of the national anthem. And with that, we are all but set to kick this bad boy off here from Joseph A. Gregory High School Field. Dustin Pageant, final thoughts before we engage in modern warfare.
Keith, my final thoughts are we are ready to play. This is a long pregame show that we had and a lot of antics going on the field. We're ready to get to some football. This should be an exciting game, more likely one of our more exciting games of the season.
2 teams, 1 football game, and the outcome with the possibility of a share or sole possession of first place in the C-Cal League standings. Turlock and Enochs. Turlock in the traditional white, all-white pants and uniform jersey with the gold and navy blue piping. Of course, those awesome navy blue helmets and that yellow crest. And as usual, the Enoch High Eagles in their all black uniforms, all black solid helmet, no logo, gold trim and gold lettering. Diego Angel getting ready to kick this football off as Enoch set to return this one. And it is a packed crowd. They have been cheering. They have been standing. It is a pink out for tonight's senior night. And they showed up in droves to support up their Eagles. Now it's time for the football team to possibly deliver for the home crowd. And we're off. We're going to play football. Enochs and Turlock. This one taken around the 15-yard line. And taken down around the 20-yard line are the Enoch Eagles as they will set up shop at their own 21-yard line by the looks of it. Here comes Mr. Ben Harless, the quarterback, and his Eagles. Ben Harless on the year, Dustin Paget, 48 of 90, 645 passing yards, 8 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, but they will rely on the senior Kakoa Sawyer, the running back, with 234 yards on 50 carries. And, man, do they have a great running game here at Enochs High School.
Yeah, definitely, Keith. We're probably going to see it here in this next, in this opening drive. Expect them to hit the ground attack quite a bit here, even though they open up in the shotgun with no running back.
First down. And up the middle as that one will go for about 2 or 3 yards. And it might have been a situation where he got back to the line of scrimmage. So maybe a gain of 1 at best. And so it'll be 2nd and 9 as that one was given to what looks to be Sawyer. And you see this offense for Enochs. They are going to want to run the football. And if they're going to have to do that, that offensive line is going to have to be big with this defensive line Turlock has had for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely, Keith. As you saw there, a gang tackle led by Oscar Cruz, but all those guys in there on that tackle.
2nd and long. They go up the middle again, and in there on the tackle were numerous people, including Josh Elliott, the middle linebacker, Gasca, who has been playing with a turf toe injury, number 40. He's gotten better and better as the weeks have gone on, and James Peterson says he's A-OK now.
Yeah, that'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 situation. And those first 2 runs there, the Bulldogs did exactly what they needed to do. Nice stops.
McGraw, the wide receiver for Enochs, number 17, checks into the ball game, as well as Devin Hendricks, number 7. Harless back to pass, floats it over the middle and incomplete. Intended for his receiver, it was McGraw, and a great defensive play there by Frias, number 21, as well as Cruz, 24, who was in the vicinity. And don't sleep on Darian White, number 17, the senior. He was there as well.
Yeah, Keith, they threw that ball into triple coverage, and that was exactly what the Bulldogs wanted to do defensively to start this game. They forced a quick 3-and-out. Good decision for them to defer and kick the ball off here to Enochs to start.
An interesting decision here for Turlock. Usually they have number 4, Cade Gilbert, returning all the punts, but they will trot out Frias to return this punt. We'll see what becomes of this, as back to punt this football is Enochs, as Valdivia, the kicker, number 28, set to boom this one away.
Had to hustle one more man out there on the field for the punt coverage.
Prasad, number 14, the middle linebacker coming in, the junior, 5'7", 140 pounds. That is a low-line driver. Frias will signal to stay clear from it from everybody on the return team, and that is great field position for Turlock as that football goes out of bounds at around their own 48, 49-yard line.
Going to be a great start here for them. Field position-wise, they have just a half a field to go, and if they can go down and get 7 here, that would make a real statement here to start this game early, Keith.
So here comes the Turlock offense. Usually, number 16, big, tall, lanky Brock Paisley will be quarterback. Instead, with that sprained ankle, Dalton Lin will get the start at quarterback, once a JV quarterback. Now, with Paisley's ankle problem, he is the starter tonight. They go up the middle to Gonzalez. Right side as Gonzalez trudges forward, surrounded by numerous black jerseys, about a gain of 2 or 3, and that tackle made by Babalola, number 33. Bullard, the defensive end, number 35, there as well. And you talk about this offense, Dalton Lin, he adds a different dynamic. He's much faster than Paisley running the football, and I bet they will use that at some point tonight. Lin pitches it out to Frias. Frias leaps forward as he is taken down at around what looks to be the 45-yard line. Tackle made there by Boleto, number 20, the inside linebacker. He'll also play defensive line tonight, and a great decision by Lin to pitch that one out.
Definitely, it's going to bring up a third manageable here, 3rd and 2, but something I want to point out, Keith, they're using the no-huddle here in the early going in this first drive.
It has been a quick tempo for this Turlock offense. We'll see how long this lasts. They usually are a very patient team, calling a lot of plays in minimal time. They throw it out to the flat to Frias. Frias gets a block, and Anthony Frias has turned on the burners. He trucks a man downfield. Frias to the 15-yard line, and he's stopped after a big-time first down gain. Holy guacamole. Anthony Frias was like a Mack truck on that one, and he ran right over the defender.
And if you're James Peterson and Dalton Lin, you couldn't have written up a better first pass of the game for him. It's his first start in quite some time. And on a 3rd and 2, they give him just a little flat pass, a really simple little route to run. And what looked to be just a small gain turned into about a 30-yarder, Keith.
Anthony Frias, who put on at least 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason, he used every 15 pounds there as he gets the first down at a big-time power run. Now they'll use Frias in the jet sweep. He bounces it out to the outside. Anthony Frias will go to the corner. First down, stiff arm. He's out of bounds. Man, is Anthony Frias running hard tonight as Sawyer, number 2, was the victim of that big-time stiff arm.
Definitely, but you know what? For Sawyer's sake, he was able to get him down there, so give him the credit for at least getting him down on the ground.
Sawyer gets Frias down, but not before he converts a first down run. It's now 1st and goal. What a move here.
Bust to the outside, Keith, and then here you go, stiff-armed him right down.
So 1st and goal now from inside what looks to be the 5-yard line here in the west end zone. Dalton Lin so far moving this offense, no problem. They'll go up the middle, and walking inside for the touchdown is Gonzalez. And just like that, Turlock on the board, no problem. Josiah Gonzalez, who has been used a lot more in the last couple of weeks, he's used once again there for the first Turlock touchdown of the night.
And if you're James Peterson, you couldn't be happier with the start. And as you mentioned with Gonzalez, he's a workhorse. You have Frias and you've got Dalton Lin before this game. You know, he had 2 guys that were ahead of him on the running back lineup. But, hey, Gonzalez, no slouch. Again, another touchdown for him on the season.
So Josiah Gonzalez once again with another touchdown. They have started to use him in the last couple of weeks in some goal line formations. And it paid off there as they will now let Angel kick the extra PAT. The PAT is good, and just like that, it is 7-0 Bulldogs. Their first drive of the contest, it goes less than 8 plays. They take up less than 3 minutes, and they put 7 points on the board, and it is 7-0 Turlock, just like that here on NorCal Sports TV. And man, what a statement. You wanted to talk about statements. What a statement Turlock just made with that first drive.
Hey, definitely, Keith. You get a 3-and-out on the defensive side, and then you come down and you get a touchdown, a very easy one. They had a few plays. They didn't really have to do much, didn't really have much stopping from the defense. There was not much going back against them there. So if you're Enochs Eagles, you gave up 56 last week there. You gave up a really easy touchdown. Moving forward, you've got to shore up the defense. You've got to focus on stopping them to short plays, short gainers, because they gave up too many long ones right there on that drive, Keith.
They'll send Sawyer back to return this kickoff here as Enochs will try to match Turlock here and get some more points on the board. But, man, what a statement by the Bulldogs. Solid kick by Angel. This kickoff taken around the 20-yard line. Some movement near the left side. We might have something going on here. Let's hold the phone here.
It's a fumble, Keith, but looks like recovered by the Eagles.
It was a fumble indeed, but Enochs recovers it, and so the Eagles now will trot out for their second drive on offense, and the first drive ended with Harless overthrowing his man, McGraw, number 17. Now they'll see if they can extend this drive and put some points on the board.
Yeah, definitely, Keith. They got to try something a little bit different than they did on their first drive. A couple runs up the middle, nothing was doing there. Then they threw the ball into triple coverage. You got to look for your openings on the defense.
Enochs has struggled at home this year, 1-3 at home, but a perfect 3-0 on the road, as they got to get off to a hot start here. They go up the middle, and there was nothing doing there. Turlock read that run the entire step of the way. Inside was Masihi, as well as Gasca was once again in there, and number 11, Backham, was right there with his boys. Big-time stop on first down.
And they're gang tackling here, Keith. That's 3 runs we've seen so far from the Eagles, all right up the middle, and they've all been gang tackled. That one actually loses a yard and a half. 2nd and 11. See if they go with the air here, Keith.
Well, we'll see, as Enochs not used to being a throwing team, but if they're going to trail behind here in this one, they might have to get some big-time passes. Play action. Lofts it downfield. That pass caught it around the 50-yard line. A big-time catch, but a fumble near the 35, and Turlock has it. Oh, man, a horrible turnover by Jose Luis Guizar, number 9, and Turlock recovers the football. Oh, baby, what a big-time play. Jaden Jackson and the crew were there to pick that football up.
Yeah, Keith, that was a great strip after the ball was caught and he was running down the field. They submerged him immediately. As you'll see on the replay here, there were 2 men right on him, were able to get that ball out of his hands. And that's not only a huge blow in the sense of the turnover, but they had a great gain. That was the play that they were looking for. Got a 40-yard pass, but turns into a turnover.
The ball was stripped by Christian Cruz, number 34, a part of the Cruz missile crisis in that defensive secondary. And we're going to get a stop here on 1st and 10 from the Turlock 35. We'll see what it is. Offsides on Enochs, and that will move the ball up that much more on first down. And, man, what a blow to Enochs. They get a big play from Luis Guizar to put them in enemy territory, and then they give it right back up.
And then they commit the penalty right there to make it 1st and 5. They've got to stop them here. They do not want to go down 2 scores early to Turlock.
Ball placed at the 40-yard line of Turlock now after that offsides penalty. They go jet sweep to Gilbert. Gilbert still going as he nears that first down marker at the 45-yard line. Tackle made at the 44 by number 20, Ricky Boletto.
Yeah, and Quintana was also in on that one. And, again, on 1st and 5, you get 4 yards. Great job for the Bulldogs. They'll take that all day long. Brings up 2nd and short.
So now 2nd and short, and this is where Turlock does most of their damage because they like to run the football in these situations. Frias has to bounce it out to the outside, and a great stop there by the Enochs defense. Number 35, Marche Boulard, the junior defensive end, was there, and that is easier said than done with a big man like Frias who can run the football very, very fast.
Yeah, you took the thought right out of my brain, Keith. I was going to say there's not very many times this season where we're going to call Frias for a loss, but he actually loses a yard there.
So now 3rd down, and they like to run Lin on the jet sweeps usually on 3rd down, but he's at quarterback, so they can't do that. What will they do here? They go up the middle. Frias is once again stopped at behind the line of scrimmage. What a big-time play by the defense of the Eagles. Number 21, Quintana there as well, and it was actually Gonzalez who was stopped on 3rd down, but nonetheless, it's 4th and short.
Yeah, 4th and short, and you're on your own side of the field. I don't expect to see them go for it, but it's only a couple yards. They may, so we'll have to see what they decide to do here. I don't really see a punting formation.
They will go for it. Play action. That pass right side. It's fired in there, and it's caught for a 1st down conversion. And snagging in that one is number 10, Holden Baldwin. Tackle made at around the 50-yard line, but Baldwin, one of the most sure-handed receivers on the Bulldogs offense. You see why right there.
How about Dalton Lin so far? It's just been 2 passes, but he's completed both of them. We'll see the replay here on the 4th down. No replay for you.
All right, 50-yard line. 1st and 10. And this time Lin will keep it, but he'll be met at the defensive line as the Eagles crowd him in on there as the tackle made by number 35, Bullard, who has been a big force in the trenches. Marche Bullard, the junior defensive end, 200 pounds, 6'3". He is a big man.
Yeah, definitely, Keith.
2nd and 9. Jet sweep towards the left. And still going are the Bulldogs, and that was a great play there as they run that jet sweep, which they are used to running with Lin. And it's a 1st down, and they're once again in Enochs territory. And, man, you want to talk about a team that runs the jet sweep better than anybody in Central California. Here's why.
Yeah, check this replay. That's Cade Gilbert in there. We're getting a little bit of everybody running the ball for them, Keith.
So Gilbert, who did not attempt the first punt return back on the jet sweep, and they will likely use Gilbert throughout the night with Lin at quarterback. But nonetheless, they've got speedsters on this offense that they have the ability to use in plenty. Now Gilbert on the jet sweep pass. Going to throw it long. Underthrown, and it's almost intercepted. Santana, number 8, had his hands on it, and he couldn't bring it in. Man, what a bad break for Enochs. What a lucky break for Turlock.
Yeah, definitely, Keith. Gilbert there might want to each second decision. Next time you might eat that one because he threw up a duck snort, a floater there. Should have easily been picked but dropped. And you got to give the wide receiver credit. He kind of battled him a little bit, forced that ball out of his hands.
Santana in frustration, flailing his arms. He knew that he dropped a big-time play, and now it has to be the ability to move on for Enochs. 2nd down. Gilbert in between the trenches. He gets very, very close to that 1st down marker at around the 30-yard line, and it'll be very, very close. He might have converted it, Dustin Padgett, but nonetheless, that is a play with the fumble and then now the drop by Santana on the interception. Enochs continues to shoot themselves in the foot early on here.
Yeah, that was a good tackle there from Quintana to stop the 1st down. He would have had it there, but it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 3 here for him, Keith.
Another 3rd and short for Turlock. The last time they had one of these, Enochs stopped them cold. Will they stop them here once again? They give it to Gonzalez, and he easily completes that 1st down run as they're once again nearing that inside the 20-yard marker, and Enochs continues to not be able to stop this running attack inside or outside.
Yeah, that was just a simple dive up the middle on a 3rd and 3, Keith, and Gonzalez is able to get about 13 yards there.
So now, once again, Turlock nearing the doorstep of the Eagles' goal line. Lin back to pass. Has time. Goes to the middle, and it's incomplete as that one was intended for the tight end. He's actually Baldwin, number 10. Great defense there as Sawyer in that secondary as well as Santana, number 8.
Yes, Sawyer didn't pick the ball up on that one, Keith. If he had, that ball was overthrown. Might have been another interception opportunity, but he didn't see it and it went right by him.
As Lin cannot hook up with Baldwin, and these are the type of situations that Enochs wants to get Lin in. He has not played quarterback in roughly over a year. He's taken snaps, bits and pieces, but he has not had a whole lot of snaps. Jet sweep again. And falling down and almost finding the hole was Gilbert. And Gilbert, if he hadn't fallen down, that might have been a touchdown. There was nothing but room for number 4.
Yeah, definitely. If not a touchdown, he probably would have gotten that 1st down there, Keith. And, give credit to the Enochs defense. They tripped him up a little bit there. Got a little bit of a hand on him. But, yeah, he definitely probably wants that one back, does Gilbert.
Another 3rd down here. Another chance for Enochs to stop Turlock. And this is a big play with Turlock knocking on the door. They fake the jet sweep. Lin, pressure coming, and they get him in the backfield. And a big-time sack there by the Eagle defense. Number 33, Babalola, closed in and got to Lin before he could do anything. Nobody was there for Dalton Lin to throw the football to.
Yes, and if you're Lin's offensive line here, you got to let him know. Somebody's got to be loud and let him know he's got somebody coming from the backside, Keith, because Lin did not see that coming at all. Going to bring up 4th and a mile.
And Turlock with no plans, it looks like, to kick the field goal. They will go for it once again on 4th down. A second 4th down attempt. The last time they got it on the pass to Baldwin. Can they get it here? Lin scrambles to his left. Pressure coming. Lin turns the corner, and Dalton Lin still going. He's got the 1st down at the 15-yard line. He is tackled Down, but not before number 78, Promise, can get him. But, man, Dalton Lin turned that corner. It looked like he was dead in the water, and we got a flag. Hold on.
No, I think that the Enochs actually stopped him. Looks like he's about a half a yard short based on where the refs are lining him up. And both the Enochs Eagles, the team is pointing this way. Like, we've got the stop. The coaches are pointing this way. Based on where the refs are lined up, he's going to be about a half a yard short. They may measure it, though.
So we will see here what the measurement is. We look here on the replay. This is very, very close.
What a play from Lin. It seemed like he was going to lose yards in the backfield there, and he was just able to use his speed to get around that corner. There was very little room on that corner, Keith, but Lin found it.
Lin's speed takes over and might have gotten him a first down. We will see here. It's going to be a close one. No first down. And the fourth down run by Lin comes up close but no cigar. And Enochs will take over on downs at their own 10-yard line. A gutsy play by Lin, who almost got the first down by himself, Dustin Padgett. But it's all for naught. And Enochs gets off the field on defense with no points allowed.
Yeah, for Enochs Eagles, that was their play of the game so far. It was huge to stop them there. But if you're Lin, you got to love that play. The strangest part about that play to me, Keith, was that was a designed run. You could see it based on his rollout. He was not looking to throw the ball down the field. So on 4th and 15, they thought Lin could get that corner and hit 15 yards.
1:08 to play in the first quarter. It's a jet sweep to the left side as Babalola takes this one as he goes flying out of bounds. Gain of about 2 or 3 from the looks of it as number 33, Bayomi Babalola, the outside linebacker, just a sophomore, has played the majority of the snaps so far, has not come off the field after that fourth down, I guess you could say rejection of Lin on offense, and Babalola here taking the first play on 1st and 10.
And you know what? He took a hard hit out of bounds there, Keith, but a totally legal hit, not a late hit, and they used the shoulder pads, so hopefully he's all right on that one.
2nd and long. Harless will keep it himself up the middle, but he is met by numerous white jerseys. That includes number 49, Mason Jordan, and as well number 9, Ryan Birch. And you talked about it here with this defense. Mason Jordan, who had multiple sacks against Downey, converted to number 49. As James Peterson said, we needed him to play defense. We were a little short on the defensive side of the football, and Mason has played extremely well these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely, Keith. And you know what? As of right now, if I were the Eagles, you might want to mix the game plan up. Your first few drives, you have had no luck running the ball up the middle, and that is going to end our first quarter here.
That will do it for the end of the first quarter. 7 points is all that separates Enochs and Turlock as the Bulldogs with a 7-0 lead here on NorCal Sports TV. We switch the field, and we'll go to the second quarter. But first, a word from some of our sponsors. We would like to thank American Asphalt. But first, the Turlock Quarterback Club. The Turlock Quarterback Club is proud of their players, from their academics to their leadership accomplishments to their on-field championships. We would like to thank our community's businesses, individuals, alumni, and families for all their financial support for all our football teams. Please join us at Latif's every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. After every football game, you can hear from the players themselves from all 3 teams and their coaches. And Benton Roberson CPAs, providing personalized tax, accounting, and financial guidance to individuals and businesses throughout Tuolumne and Stanislaus counties. Our team believes in partnering with you and your team to build lasting relationships that help you achieve your financial goals. Give us a call today and experience the Benton Roberson difference. We look forward to hearing from you. And welcome back as the start of the second quarter here at Joseph A. Gregory Field. Keith Jogonatis, Dustin Padgett. 7 points after a Josiah Gonzalez touchdown from the goal line, Dustin Padgett. But other than that, has not been a whole lot of points in this one.
No, Keith, and that's because we had some sustained drives and a lot of runs. And when you're running the ball, the clock is going to run quite a bit. That's why I felt like this was going to be a low-scoring affair here tonight. 3rd
down for Enochs to start the second quarter. And we're going to get a whistle here. Looks to be a flag on the play. It's going to be false start on the Eagles. And that will push them back a little farther and make this 3rd down conversion attempt a little harder.
How about the Bulldogs defense here so far, Keith? In the past few weeks, they've really shown up. And again here tonight, Enochs has almost no yards of total offense here through one quarter.
The Bulldogs, who had 5 sacks from 5 different players last week, Mashihi, Johnson, Rogers, the nose tackle Bullock, and Rios and Rumeyer. Harless, flat route, and Sawyer did not expect it and didn't see it coming. That'll bring up 4th down.
Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage there, and when you tip it as a defensive lineman, that's usually going to stop the play from progressing, and that's exactly what happened.
We got an injured Eagle down on the field. It's Cervantes, number 58 from the looks of it. A little slow to get up, and while we have this break in the action, we hope that Cervantes is okay. What have you seen from Enochs that they could improve on in this contest going forward?
Going forward, I think that they need to mix their offense up a little bit. They've been trying to run the ball up the gut, which is understandable. That's their game plan as well as Turlock's, but it's not working tonight. Turlock's defensive front is winning that battle of the line of scrimmage. You're getting almost nothing up the middle, so you might want to try to throw the ball down the field a bit. I said that earlier. They did one time so far, and they've completed it. So they had a good pass down the field from Harless. As we know, he's a good quarterback. You might want to try to go that route on Turlock tonight. Press their secondary a bit because their defensive front is going to be hard to get through.
Cervantes able to walk it off on his own power, yet it still remains a 4th down from inside their own backyard for the Enoch Eagles. Back to return the punt is Gilbert at the 40-yard line.
So they switched Gilbert and Frias back up, and they've got the regular punt returner back there now, Keith.
Well, we'll see what happens here. It's a high snap. It's a low-line drive kick from Quintana. And that one's scooped up at around the Enochs 30-yard line. And Turlock a little in disbelief here as Cruz, number 34, is saying to Giwa, number 30, why did you pick the ball up? It was still going.
Yeah, definitely. You never know what could have happened on that play there. It could have turned into a fumble situation. So for the Turlock's sake, very lucky. And now you got the ball on the 33-yard line. You can't ask for better field position than that. That was only about a 15-yard net punt, Keith.
For the Bulldogs, the field position is A, grade A, right smack dab, middle perfect for them. We're going to get a timeout on the field for the time being. It's not charged to any of the teams, so it's just a stoppage in play as we're going to get another football here likely. So this drive for the Bulldogs starts at their own 33-yard line. Jet sweep, and it's Gilbert. Gilbert is leveled at around the 30-yard line. What a big-time hit there by Santana, number 8.
Yeah, what a tackle that was. Cut him down right at his legs. Perfectly done. Well-formed tackle there.
So Turlock has been able to run the football. They've had many successful plays. It has only resulted in 7 points. As the last time they were on the field, they went for it on 4th down, and the scramble by Lin, it almost got them the 1st down conversion. 2nd and 6. And this time, Lin will keep it himself, but not before he is met short of the 1st down marker. In on that one was Quintana, as well as number 14, Prasad, the middle linebacker, 5'7" junior.
No gain there. That's going to bring up 3rd and long. And I will say this, so far it's quite clear Turlock is showing up to play, and they look good tonight. But for the past 2 drives, the Enochs Eagles defense is finally starting to stuff the run, just like the Turlock Bulldogs defense does. So let's see if they can continue to do that.
Enochs has hung tough, that defense stopping this big-time running game. Can they keep it up? We will wait and see. Off to Gilbert. They've got the 1st down by the looks of it, and then some as Gilbert's still going. Tackled at around what looks to be the 25-yard line, but not before Cade Gilbert on another jet sweep converts the 1st down. It's very, very close. And he didn't get it. Wow, another stop on 3rd down. Just when you thought it was going to be 1st down, it is still 4th down here as the Eagles continue to stop Turlock short of the line on 1st down.
You know what? That was a rough spot there. It did look like from the naked eye he might have had it, but they've got him about 2.5 yards short. That's no easy play to make. And again, I believe this is their 3rd, 4th down attempt here in the early going. Not even going to try the field goal.
2 wideouts to the left and 2 to the right. Up the middle is Gonzalez. Gonzalez stuffed, and it looks like he didn't get it.
Definitely not, Keith. As you see, he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage on 4th and 2. He's going to lose a yard there, Keith. What a job for the Eagles defense.
Holy guacamole, that Enochs Eagles defense, as you mentioned, Dustin Paget, has come to play tonight. This big-time running attack by Turlock once again stuffed on another consecutive 4th down attempt.
And the way I see that, Keith, is the Eagles know that Lin is, fresh quarterback here tonight, and they're assuming that they're going to get a lot of runs. And so they're playing up in the box, and they're expecting the run. And on that set of 3 plays there, that was a great job to stop them and get the ball back.
Under 9 minutes in the second quarter. And they will go up the middle once again, but it is all for naught, as it might have been Quintana, number 21, getting back to the line of scrimmage there. And the good news for Enochs is your defense has come to play. The bad news is the offense just can't muster any points right now.
Yeah, Ostabakum in there on the tackle. And, again, as I mentioned before this last drive, you might want to mix it up. The running the ball up the middle is not working. Try some jet sweeps, try some pitches, some tosses to the outside, and throw the ball down the field, because right now it doesn't seem like you're getting any yards up the middle tonight on the Bulldogs defense.
Sawyer and Harless back in the football game. They go up the middle. And that will go for what looks to be 3 or 4. And if you think Enochs defense is hanging tough and playing well, that Turlock defense is right there as well. A bunch of big-time hitters on that one. Gaska as well as Backham once again in on the stop. And number 59, Masihi, who had a sack last week, anchoring that defensive line. They've come to play once again tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, the Bulldogs defense, they're amazing. They're really doing everything possible to make it difficult for the Eagles to get anything done, to even get a first down, Keith. They've only had 1.
3rd and 8. They go up the middle again on another run, and that will be stopped well short of the first down marker. Getting the carry there is Cervantes, who usually plays middle linebacker, but he's also a fullback with that big 225-pound frame of his. Interesting play choice there, Dustin Paget.
You definitely, Keith. And the only thing I could think of is they were trying to catch him off guard on 3rd and 8. You're assuming the throw. That time they just tried a little dive up the middle. Well, actually, it was a draw, a little bit of a hesitation, and they gained a yard or 2, but nowhere near the first down, and they're going to be another 3 and out. And their only first down that they had of the game was on that long throw that ended up being fumbled. So really, you don't have any first downs.
So another punt for the Eagles of Enochs High School. This punt is pretty good. Looks like somebody got a hand on it, as that one is going to go right behind Gilbert's. As a result, great punt, great roll. It is rolled down and touchdown at the Turlock 30-yard line. So this Turlock offense, obviously with no Brock Paisley, they are running the football the way they've always tried to, but the bad news is on multiple occasions, Enochs has been there to counter that smash-mouth football with some smash-mouth defense.
Definitely, Keith. They've stopped them on 2 4th downs, but I will tell you this. They have not done anything on offense, and you cannot stop the Turlock Bulldogs offense forever. So if Enochs doesn't start scoring soon, eventually they're going to break, and Turlock is going to break through here.
As this run will go for about maybe 2 or 3, as having that one is Lin, who will keep it himself. Dalton Lin, who, as we mentioned in the pregame, was a junior varsity quarterback. Brock Paisley actually his backup. And tonight a little reminiscent of that JV lineup with obviously Paisley nursing a sprained ankle. And for the most part, Dalton Lin has done his part. They have not asked of him to do too much. They have not thrown the football a whole lot, maybe 2 or 3 passes at the most. They're going to need Lin at some point, though, to make a big-time pass to win this football game, it looks like.
Definitely, Keith. Lin's actually playing himself a great game so far, but he needs to do a little bit more.
2nd down once again. And they'll go up the middle, as taking that carry for the Bulldogs was Gonzalez, as he gets about 3 on that one, as in on the tackle were a slew of Knights, and especially 53, Tualu for the Eagles. And now another 3rd down for Turlock.
Yeah, Bullard was in on that one as well. And you know what? The Enochs Eagles is doing a really good job on the defensive front with the runs here. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short, but again, you may see a pass here from Turlock because running the ball has not been working out for them in the last couple of drives.
They send Gilbert out, so there will likely be no jet sweep. Down they line up in what looks to be the I-back formation. Jordan in at fullback. They go up the middle to Mason Jordan. Jordan trudging forward, but he's going to be stopped short of the first down marker. Mason Jordan, who we mentioned, number 49, who has played defense, now at fullback on offense. And it looks like Jordan got the first down, so they will move those chains. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
And just barely there, the Eagles' defense did their job. They stopped him, but it was only 3rd and 1. He only needed a yard, and that's just about what he got, just about 1 yard there. But, hey, the Bulldogs will take that. That'll move the sticks, give them a first down, grab a little bit of momentum back here.
The officials say Jordan got forward progress on the third and down run, and he gets it 1st down and a fresh new set of downs for the Bulldogs. As that clock continues to tick, we are under 5 minutes here in the first half. Lin back to pass. Zips it middle, and it is dropped by his receiver, and he was going for number 7 there, Pena, who caught a big pass up the middle from Paisley last week in the first half, but Pena dropping this one, 2nd and 10.
And that was a rough drop, to say the least, and I know Pena will tell you that himself. That ball was right in his hands, and sometimes, your hands are rocks. You don't always make those catches.
Dalton Lin put a lot of oomph on that one, and Pena cannot bring it in. 2nd and 10. Lin, fake the pass. Now a scramble up the middle. Lin still going, takes the big hit, still going, and keeps on rolling and trucking along. They whistle it dead as Lin, who was banged up in that one, he took some shots from multiple Eagles that included Santana and numerous black jerseys. Man, what toughness by Dalton Lin. You talk about playing till the whistle. He definitely played till the whistle was blown there.
And that was another designed run for Dalton Lin, as you'll see off the snap here. Gets up the middle and breaks off a couple tackles. Gets him about 15 yards there.
Lin definitely earned the first down on that one. He took a wallop with some big-time hits there from the Eagles' D. 1st and 10 from the Enoch 45. Lin goes up the middle once again as he is met and thrown to the ground by number 21, Quintana, who has been everywhere tonight on the football field, as well as 33, Babalola, once in again in on a tackle.
Yeah, and again, they're doing a great job on that run up the middle. That's only going to get them a 1-yard gain. And, the Eagles, their defense is really showing up here tonight. They're keeping this at a close game, but this is a big drive here. We're getting near the halftime, as you mentioned, and Turlock gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So if they can go in and get a touchdown here, go up 2 scores to get the ball back, it's going to be a tough game for Enochs moving forward.
With this play and likely the next play that follows, we will be under 3 minutes in the first half here on NorCal Sports TV. 7-0 Turlock over Enochs. Keith Joganatis, Dustin Paget with you. And we're going to get a whistle here, and it's likely going to be a false start on Turlock as we'll wait and see what happens, and it's a timeout taken by Turlock. That's their first timeout of the first half. As we got this break in the action, we will thank some of our sponsors, as we will thank American Asphalt taking care of business. And by FitPro GO, who will be our FitPro GO player of the game. Stay tuned to find out. And the Sonora Conference Center now open in downtown Sonora. And Willie's Pizza and Wings. Willie's Pizza and Wings. They are open at 2050 East Canal Drive. And coming soon, it is the 2020 NorCal Summer Basketball Camp, overnight week-long basketball camp for boys and girls, coming in the summer of 2020 to Sonora, California. Welcome back. It is 2nd and 9 for Turlock here as we are under 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the first half. Enochs has had some big-time stops on 3rd down, so if they can get it here, they like their chances on 3rd down. It's a screen pass, and it's caught in stride for a first down conversion. That one is taken by Pena, who dropped the last pass given to him, but Pena didn't drop that one. He takes it in stride, and he moves that football to inside the 35-yard line.
Great pass there from Lin on the replay as you see Pena getting that first down. What a job there.
Miguel Pena, the senior wideout, 6 foot, exactly 180 pounds, also plays defensive back, but he is known primarily as a wide receiver on this team. He's got some of the surest hands in Central California. Lin back to pass. Pressure coming. Steps up in the pocket. Tries to scramble, but he couldn't get anywhere. And it's a big-time tackle there as number 78, Joshua Promes, the tackle. 6'2", 280 pounds of solid muscle, making the stop there.
Yeah, that was a good one there. That's going to be a sack, Keith. Loss of 3 yards.
Turlock has been able to run the football at will on their opponents the last couple of weeks. Tonight it has been bits and pieces, but it has not been the dominating running attack so far in the first half we have been accustomed to from the Bulldogs. Lin rolls out to the right, looks for a receiver on the right side, and he's got Baldwin near the 24-yard line as Baldwin is knocked out of bounds by Hendricks, but not before Baldwin gets a big-time snag there on the right side on the rollout.
Yeah, on the 2nd and 15, now they bring it up to make it 3rd and about 1, 3rd and maybe 2. Very manageable here, Keith. And you know what I like from the Bulldogs on this drive is they're eating that clock. They're knowing that they're getting the ball to start the next half. They don't want the Eagles to have another offensive possession.
Boletto comes out of the game. Promes comes back in after a rest after the sack. 3rd and way short. And someone on the defensive line moved for Enochs by the looks of it. And it is on Enochs, and that is an automatic first down for the Bulldogs. That is a killer on 3rd and short.
Yeah, definitely, Keith. You got to assume that was a good hard count done there. I'm imagining he didn't just run across the line for no reason. So give Dalton Lin the credit for giving a good hard count.
We are now officially under 2 minutes to play in the first half as Turlock clings to a small but very powerful 7-0 lead. We're going to get a stoppage in play right here as we're going to get the clock reset to what looks to be 1 minute and 44 seconds by the looks of what the ref was signaling. Right now it's at 1:47.
I think they said 1:54. That's what's looking like the coach is showing down here.
And they will, in fact, move it to 1:54 as there was a 4 thrown up. So we knew there was a 4 involved. It was the other part we might not have been too sure on. 1st and 10. Gilbert on the jet sweep. He is swallowed up as he tried to find that hole. Gilbert went knocking on the door, and somebody answered, and it was number 70 for Enochs on the play.
Yeah, what a job so far from the defensive lines of both teams so far. They are doing the best job making this run game difficult for both sides. We have not seen, other than one run from Frias earlier in this game, any breakout runs.
2nd and long. Lin, pressure coming. They get him. A big-time sack back at the Turlock 35-yard line. Holy guacamole, artichoke. Quintana, number 21, got there. And, man, you want to talk about a big-time play. Watch this replay as Quintana and his running mate for the Eagles swallowed up Lin.
Yeah, Bullard got there as well with Quintana. Two-way sack. They'll probably split that between the two of them. And you know what? That's about 12. Wow, more than that. That's about a 16-yard loss on that play, Keith.
That is painful.
It may cost the Bulldogs some points here before the end of the half. Now you're in a situation where you're 3rd and 21. You're not in field goal range yet. Angel is a good kicker. We'll give him credit for that. We've seen him all year round. But a 47-yard field goal out of the loop. So on 3rd down, Keith, I look for the Bulldogs and James Peterson to try to get some of this yards back. Maybe a little screen pass, maybe even a draw up the middle. Give them maybe 5 or 10 more yards. Give Angel a chance at a field goal at the very least.
Angel made his lone field goal last week against Modesto from 27 yards out. As it stands right now, that ball is at the literally 30-yard line of Enochs. So you're looking at around a 40-yard field goal if it were to stay pat, and they would get no gain on this play and would bring up 4th down. So you kind of want to go towards that 20-yard marker to give Angel some space. Lin has made some passes on this drive. He hit Pena, he hit Baldwin on the right side, and they will definitely likely call upon Lin to make a big-time throw here to get them at least back in Angel's range. 3rd and 20. And Lin will scramble. He's got some room. Lin still going, but he's taken down. A marvelous shoestring tackle by Quintana, number 21. And if Quintana had not gotten Lin by the back of his coattails, Dustin Padgett, that is a first down conversion.
Hey, you said it, Keith. Definitely it was a 3rd and 20, but again, Lin, on those 3rd and longs, they're giving him the running opportunities, and he's got some wheels. He almost got it done there. He's only going to get about 9 yards is going to bring up 4th and 14, and we did see a timeout called from the Eagles here so they could save a little bit of time at the end of the half for their next possession.
Under a minute to play, 56 seconds to be exact here in regulation in the first half, and this is an Enochs defense that has been able to stand pat while the offense has struggled to put any points on the board. We want to thank some of our sponsors while we have the chance here. American Asphalt, taking care of business. FitPro GO, who will be the FitPro GO player of the game? Well, stay tuned to find out postgame. And the Sonora Conference Center, now open in downtown Sonora. Willie's Pizza and Wings, open now on 2015 East Canal Drive. Welcome back. 4th and 14 for the Turlock Bulldogs. We'll see what James Peterson dials up here.
Not even going to attempt the 42-yard field goal here, Keith.
Lin gonna heave it long towards Baldwin. It is broken up. Baldwin had his hands on it, but he couldn't get it as Santana came in and laid the boom. At the end of that play, Hendricks with great defensive pass coverage.
And Keith, that is the Eagles' 3rd 4th down stop. They've turned the ball over on the Bulldogs side 3 times on the 4th down situations. Even though you haven't done anything offensively, going into the halftime here, you may actually feel like the momentum is on your side. You've only given up 7 points. It's a 1-score game. You haven't done anything offensively. You're playing really sound defense right now, are the Enoch Eagles.
Peterson and his Bulldogs went for it once again on 4th down. And for another numerous occasion and a consecutive time on 4th down, no one was home. And we're going to get a stoppage now here. It is a timeout for Turlock as they will talk this over with 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Keith Joganatis, Dustin Pageant. We were expecting a low-scoring game with both of these teams and the way they like to run the football, and we have not been disappointed.
Definitely not, Keith. Very similar to the game that I did last week, the Argonaut game, 7-0 into overtime.
Once again, want to thank some of our sponsors, the Turlock Quarterback Club. The Turlock Bulldogs Quarterback Club is proud of their players, from their academics to their leadership accomplishments to their on-field championships. We would like to thank our community's businesses, individuals, alumni, and families for all their financial support for all of our football teams. Please join us at Latif's every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. after every football game. You can hear from the players themselves from all 3 teams and their coaches. So now, with 50 seconds remaining in the first half, Enochs, do they have what it takes here? Do they have that spunk to put one in the end zone or at least put 3 points up on the board and get some points in their favor?
They've got 2 timeouts. The field position is against them, so I look to see them try one ball down the field, and if they don't get a completion, they're probably going to play conservative, let it go to the halftime here.
1st and 10 from their own 22. Harless in trouble. Gets out. Had one man on him. He got away from it, and Harless will just go out of bounds here as number 59 for Turlock. Masihi had a hand on Harless, but he couldn't bring him down. But regardless, Harless out of bounds.
And that'll end up being a sack and a 5-yard loss. And they did try a pass there, did not work out, being that you're down 2nd and 15 deep in your own end. Likely probably just going to run the clock here. I look to see for a run, and then take it into the halftime at this point. I don't think they're going to go anything goofy here.
A loss of a couple and a loss of 8 seconds on 1st and 10. Second and 16 coming up now for the Eagles. Harless to the flat, overthrows his man, intended for Hendricks. And on the coverage there was Bockham, number 11. Bockham with that 195-pound big body frame at 5'11". Listed as a defensive end on this team, but he can get out there and make some plays. He is fast.
Don't expect him to throw the ball here on 3rd and 15, because if you throw incomplete pass, then you're forcing yourselves to punt deep in your own end zone. And the only thing that's on the side of the Eagles right now is that Turlock just used their final timeout at the beginning of this drive. So you run the ball up the middle into the half. So if you try to throw here, it may be dangerous.
Harless in the shotgun. They will throw it here. Harless tries to dump it off, but it is incomplete, intended for Cervantes. And that would not have brought up 1st down for the Eagles, even if it was complete, likely, as there were multiple white jerseys in front of Harless.
And now they left the whole clock there for Turlock, and they're going to have to punt the ball pretty deep in their own end zone. It's going to give Turlock at least an opportunity to try to get into field goal range. Not necessarily sure if that was the right play call to make on 3rd and 15 deep in your own territory.
Turlock will have 34 seconds exactly to work with in the end here for the first half. They send Gilbert out to return this football. He is positioned at the 49-yard line of Turlock. High kick. Gilbert has trouble snagging this one as he falls at the 50-yard line. And that is where Turlock will set up shop for this drive with 27 seconds remaining. And so what is the chance here, Dustin Padgett, that James Peterson will call something that could potentially get Turlock some more points on the board going into the second half?
Hey, you still need about 30 yards to get into attempting of a field goal range. Little bit of time left. Again, same situation I say with the Enochs was in. You may try one ball down the field, but if you don't get it, just take it into the half. You get the ball to start the second half if you're the Bulldogs. Do not want to turn it over here. That's a key.
Pressure coming. Lin tries to dump it off, and he'll just throw it away out of bounds, as charging at Lin there was number 33, Babalola, as well as Shankar, number 59.
That's actually a good play from Lin to get rid of that ball at the last second. Instead of taking a sack and a big loss, you get the ball out of bounds.
So now 20 seconds to go here with 2nd and 10 from the 50-yard line. And it should be noted, as you mentioned earlier, that Turlock does get the football back to start the second half. So if you are James Peterson and your Bulldogs, one would think no rush to get something going here. You'll get the football right back.
I likely think they're going to run it here and just take it into the half, Keith.
Lin tried to hand it off to Gonzalez, and instead he was tackled and thrown to the ground. Man, what a throw by Bullard, number 35. He has a sack, and now he's got another big-time tackle.
Timeout by the Bulldogs.
And a timeout with 7 seconds remaining, as Dalton Lin has been running for his life these last couple of drives. Literally, black jerseys in his face everywhere he goes.
After the first drive of this game, Keith, the Enochs Eagles defense is playing just as well as the Bulldogs. They've stopped them on 4th down 3 times. We've seen a lot of good running defense from the Eagles. If you're going into the locker room right now, as I was mentioning, I feel like if you're the Eagles, you don't hold your head down. In fact, you might even think, hey, we're in a good spot right here. You're only down by a touchdown.
Lin looked like he tried to give it off to Gonzalez, but Gonzalez was unaware that was coming. We'll thank some of our sponsors while we have some time. American Asphalt taking care of business. FitPro GO, who will be our FitPro GO player of the game? Stay tuned to find out. And the Sonora Conference Center now open in downtown Sonora. Willie's Pizza and Wings. You can find them at 2050 East Canal Drive. So now, 3rd and what looks to be 16. And 7 seconds remaining. Enochs with deep coverage in the cover 2. They are ready for any surprises. Lin back to pass. Over the middle. That pass is caught at around the 30-yard line. Snagged in by White. White still going. It looks like there is a fumble on the play. Picked up by Santana. Regardless, that will signal the end of the first half. It is a 7-0 slim Turlock lead as we go to the second half. Enochs and Turlock in a big-time deathlock here on NorCal Sports TV.
And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real?
There as he gets the first down at a big-time power run. Now they'll use free Keith Joganatis, Dustin Paget, NorCal Sports TV, where the score after one full half of football is 7-0 to the away visiting Turlock Bulldogs over the home Enochs Eagles. Dustin Paget, it has been a ground and pound kind of game. They have taken their chances, both teams have, throwing the football through the air, but for the most part they have kept it on the ground. It has been a low-scoring game, to say the least. When it's 7 combined points, you know it is, but what has been the thing that has separated Turlock from Enochs? Why do they have this lead the way they do so far in the first half?
Hey, I can answer that one pretty simply, Keith. It was the very first drive of the game. They went down and got a 55-yard touchdown drive very easily, did Dalton Lin and the Bulldogs. But then after that point, the Enochs Eagles decided, hey, we're going to wake up and we're going to play the same type of defense that we're seeing on our end. And since that first drive, both teams' defenses have given up absolutely nothing. Very little field position moved on either side for the rest of the first half. And if you had said before this game, who would have preferred to play a game smash mouth like this style, I would say the Enochs Eagles. Last week they played a 56-40 game, gave up 56 points. If you had said, hey, we're only giving up 7 points here in the first half, they would have been happy about that. The Turlock Bulldogs on their side of the ball probably feel like they should have more points. But again, they've got the 7-point lead. They're the better team. They're going to look to come out on the first half of the first drive of the second half here, Keith, and to make another statement and maybe get another touchdown and increase their lead.
Josiah Gonzalez's lone touchdown run from inside the 5-yard line, the lone score in the first half. And as you touched on, the Turlock Bulldogs, who have inserted and imposed their will at certain stages in this football game, they've gone for it on multiple fourth down attempts, but seemingly every single time they have, Enochs has had an answer.
Yes, they've stopped them 3 times on fourth down. One of those was on that Dalton Lin play, which was a great play by Lin. He got 14 and a half yards of the 15 he needed. He ended up just a little bit short, but you know what? For the Eagles' sake, that was actually a huge play in this game, Keith, because if they had gotten that first down, if Lin had gotten that extra half a yard, it would have been first and goal, and they likely could have gone up by 2 scores right there. And then again, later in the half, when the Bulldogs were down on the 30-yard line, the Enochs Eagles stopped them again. So 2 of those fourth down stops were at the end of that first half, really gave them the momentum. As I was mentioning before halftime, I feel like going into the locker rooms, the Eagles maybe even up a little bit higher than the Bulldogs. Yeah, the Bulldogs are up by 7, but you know they feel like they probably could have played a little better. And for the Eagles, you're really stepping your game up defensively. Was unexpected to see them play so well on defense. Now let's see, for the Eagles' sake, on their first drive here, if they can get something going offensively, Keith, they need to mix it up a little bit. They cannot run the ball up the middle on the Bulldogs' defense. James Peterson has that defensive line not only well prepped, but he has them well conditioned. And they are big young men out there, and they are not allowing any run up the middle. So the Eagles are going to have to start throwing the ball a little bit, Keith.
So we will give you an update. We will give you an update around the area as Grigori and Downey, as you know, are playing tonight in a big-time matchup with SeaCal implications, just as this one is at your home right here. And Downey, at the moment, up 12-0 on Grigori. They're still in the first half of that one. Should Grigori lose, that would drop them to 2-1. If Turlock loses, that drops them to 2-1. And Enochs, if everything plays out the way it does, with Enochs winning, they would be tied with Downey for seemingly what would be first place in the division. Obviously, Turlock has the tiebreaker over the Knights, beating them 2 weeks ago. But, man, a lot of implications around the SeaCal tonight.
Yeah, Keith, when we were looking up that score at halftime, a little bit of a shocker there to see no points scored for Grigori. They're the 2-0 teams as well as Turlock. So, again, as you mentioned, if this shakes out the way that it may tonight, it could be a 4-way tie at 2-1 at the end of the evening if both Downey and Enochs can win. Now, I will say this. If we end that way in a 4-way tie, then whoever wins this conference is anybody's guess, Keith.
So, at the time, it is 7-0 Turlock over Enochs. And now we will go to your keys to the second half, Dustin Paget. I give you 3 keys to start the first half and start this game. And now I give you a chance to give 3 keys for each team to take home the victory tonight. So let's start with Turlock. What are the keys for Turlock to close out this game and get the W and get that winning streak to 4 consecutive wins?
You know what? I will mention again, the Dalton Lin situation for the Turlock Bulldogs is one of my keys, and they did a good job in the first half of giving Lin good plays, giving him the opportunity to make successful plays. He only threw the ball a few times, but he completed those passes. He's been having a good, successful game running. I feel like the Bulldogs, play calling-wise, have been fine. So continue what you're doing with Lin. Be conservative. Try to manage this game. You don't need a blowout. You just want to come out on top. Secondly, for the keys of their game, they need to make sure that they pay attention to the Enochs Eagles offense, because I feel like the Eagles would be foolish to do the same thing that they did in the first half, because they did nothing. So for the Bulldogs' sake, defensively, keep your eyes open, because the Eagles may have some trickery coming in store. Third key of the game here for the Bulldogs, do not let the crowd affect you. I was saying that before the game, and I feel like they're doing a good job, but this second half is even more key. The crowd is only going to get louder, and it's only going to get more amped up here, Keith.
As you know, it is a pink out tonight for these Enochs Eagles. Their student section has been going nonstop throughout the intermission here at halftime. They got a bullhorn. They've got numerous pink thunder sticks, and they are ready to see their team rally from 7-0 down to take the win tonight, and we will keep you up to date with that Downey and Grigori matchup as the game continues to roll along here, as Enochs, who started the football game with the football, will now kick off to Turlock to start this one, as Turlock will return this football to start the second half. White and Gilbert to return this one. It's a short kick taken at the 35-yard line, and it'll stay at the 35-yard line to start this second half, as making the tackle on that one for the Enochs Eagles was number 20 Boleto, as well as 14 Prasad. So here comes Dalton Lin and those Bulldogs. And as you recall in the first half, they could not get anything going. Three to be exact, fourth down attempts, and they could not get any of those to get converted. We'll see what Dalton Lin and his Bulldogs have to start the second half here. Two wideouts to the right, one to the left on 1st and 10. They fake the jet sweep to Gilbert. Lin tries to go up in the middle, and he is denied right there. And what a big-time stop there by Shankar. Number 59 was in on that one, as well as number 78 Promes. 33 Babalola trailing once again.
Eagles defense again back in on it. And I look at the coach down here with his little eagle ears on. He's got little eagle things on the side of his head. That's pretty cool.
You wonder how he got those made.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself, Keith.
Do you go to a store to get those done, or you never know? 2nd and 9. They go up the middle, and a big-time stop there. It's a gain of about 2 or 3 by Gonzalez, who takes the first carry, but taking that one was 35 Bullard. Bullard limping a little bit as he got up off that one, but nonetheless, it's another 3rd down to start this second half for Turlock.
Bullard's been all over the place defensively, making a lot of tackles, and again, the Eagles are doing a great job on their running defense, Keith.
3rd and what looks to be about 4. They go to Gilbert, and he'll get the first down. He will not.
No, sir. Looks like he might have been stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a 1-yard gain, but that's going to bring up 4th down, Keith, and what a job from the Eagles defense.
It was Bullard there once again on 3rd and 4 who gets the stop, and it's 4th down once again.
Will we see our first punt of the game from the Bulldogs, or are they going to try to go for it again here, Keith?
We will not, as Peterson will once again roll the dice to start the second half on 4th down from his own 45. Lin up the middle. Lin gets the first down as he dives forward. A big-time play there, as Lin was likely going to be short, but he made the extra step to get that first down. A diving 4th down conversion by Dalton Lin.
And you called that right on the head, Keith. He barely got that one by about a half a yard there. That was a close one. And if they had stopped him there, Keith, that would have been a huge momentum shift. But now the Bulldogs got the chains moving like they wanted.
Now Lin back to pass. Goes over the middle, and Pena dropped it. It was a dead center wide open catch, and Pena dropped it. It's Pena's 2nd drop of the night, and that's a killer.
That one was more of a killer than the one before him, because that would have been an easy touchdown, Keith. There was nobody behind him. Let's check the replay out on this. He had his man beat by a good 3 yards. There was nobody there, Keith. As we see here on the pass, great pass from Lin. Give him credit for putting the ball right where it needed to be. And you see, look, there's nobody there, Keith.
2nd and 10, and we'll touch on Pena's drop in just a minute. Man, this band is going hard right now. They go up the middle to Gonzalez, and he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, if anything. Bullard in on the stop once again. Jake Doe is there as well, and we talked about it with James Peterson over the phone. He said, hey, these kids now live in the social media world where if they drop a pass, everyone sees it. And he says, you got to play for the next play. You can't worry about that stuff, and if there's any team, Dustin Pageant, that focuses on the next play better than anyone in Central California, it's Turlock.
Big play here for the Eagles defense. They could get the ball back on 3rd and long.
3rd down. Lin pump fake. Gonna float this one long. Baldwin with a catch. Was he out of bounds? He was, the refs say. A great effort by Holden Baldwin to snag that one, but he was out of bounds by just a hair. Or if you want to get technical, by a blade of grass. And it's 4th and long now for Turlock once again.
And now we may likely see their first punt. He was definitely out of bounds on that one, Keith. Had a whole foot out of bounds when he caught that.
He looked much closer up here, but Baldwin, definitely out of bounds. And so now it'll be 4th and long, and James Peterson once again going for it on 4th down.
They may have a punting issue, maybe with their punter tonight, Keith, I'm assuming.
Left side. That pass caught. Lateral from Pena. It's a lateral, and it's going to go for a touchdown. Turlock High School. Gonzalez. And hold everything. We've got a flag here. What's it all about?
Wow, what a play that was, Keith. A lateral on 4th and 14.
There's a flag on the field for the time being.
Unsportsmanlike.
And it's going to go on Turlock. But regardless, what a play. And man, what a touchdown as Pena, who dropped the last catch, the last ball he was given, he gets it, he throws it right back to Gonzalez. You see this replay right here, Dustin Pageant. What trickery.
Yeah, a head scratcher here. 4th and 12, you assume they were going to punt it, but they said, no, we've got to play in the back of our pockets for this exact moment, and that is a backbreaker. Takes off down the sideline there. Probably going to get in on sportsmanlike for some celebration after the fact, but the touchdown will count.
The kick is low on the PAT, but it is good, and it'll be 14-0 Turlock now as Pena, who laterals it on what looks to have been a mini hook and ladder to Gonzalez. That will extend the Turlock lead to 14-0 here with 8:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter on NorCal Sports TV. And while we have this break in the action, we will thank some more of our sponsors. American Asphalt, taking care of business. FitPro GO. Who will be our FitPro GO player of the game? Stay tuned to find out. Sonora Conference Center, now open in downtown Sonora. And Willie's Pizza and Wings at 2050 East Canal Drive. Welcome back. So once again, Turlock goes for it on 4th down. And this time, not only do they convert it, they transform it into 7 points to extend the lead to 14-0.
That is a huge backbreaker for the Enochs Eagles defense. They've been doing everything right. Had them on a 4th and 12. And again, you got to wonder what's going on with the punting. That would have been a prime time to punt it, but they said, no, 4th and 12, we're not punting it here at midfield. We're just going to go for it. If they don't get that first down and the touchdown there, Keith, the Eagles defense, or the Eagles offense is going to have the ball at midfield. So that is not only a huge momentum shift, but that's almost like a 14-point swing here, Keith.
So now it is very important that Enochs gets some points on the board to get this football game to at least an 11-point game or a 7-point game, best case scenario. And their offense has had trouble. We will see if they have any more success or some more recent success here to start the second half on their first drive of the second half. It's a high kick. Fair caught it around the 49-yard line, so Enochs gets the break, and it's a good start for them. Perfect field position as Alberto, number 13, Fair catches it at the Turlock 49.
And you know what? That goes to show how important that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was. And I know Coach Peterson's not happy about it. It was probably a celebration situation. And, yes, it was a great play, but you cost yourself 15 yards on your kickoff and then a short kick from on Hill. And all of a sudden, the Eagles got the ball in plus side of the field, right where they would have had the ball if they stopped them on fourth down. So if they can go down here 49 yards, get a touchdown, right back in the game.
Turlock, who has been shackled by penalties the last couple of weeks, has played a pretty much 100% clean game here in the first half, but they get a penalty right there. Like you said, it cost them 15 yards. This is going to be a run to the left side. Still going to the 45-yard line is Enochs, and it is Cervantes with a gain of 5.
And again, they can't get the job done up the middle, so they go to the outside. I love that idea. I don't mind them still running it. Obviously, they're a running team. That's what they're going to do. But you got to mix it up a bit. Try some pitches, try some jet sweeps, try some options right there. It was just a simple run to the outside, and he was able to get 5 yards on first down.
Enochs trying to neutralize this all-star caliber defensive line. 2nd and 5. They go once again to Cervantes as he is met at the line of scrimmage. Multiple white jerseys in on that one, such as Bradley, number 28.
And no gain, maybe a half a yard gain. And again, you try to run the ball up the middle on the Bulldogs defense. It's not getting it done on 3rd and 5 here. You may see a run, but if they do, I'd like to see them go to the outside.
So now this is a crucial play to extend this drive for the Eagles. And what will James Stacy and his staff call here? It's a run to the left. Cervantes met at the line of scrimmage, and Turlock holds down the fort. In on that stop was Bradley once again. Rios Rogers, who's been very quiet tonight, in for his first stop as well. And Backham right there to tail him.
Maybe a situation where you go for this 4th down. You've seen, obviously, that the Bulldogs have no worry to go on their side. Enochs has not gone for one yet. They punted the ball when they've had this situation. But you're on plus side of the field. It's only 4th and 5. I like to see them go here, Keith.
So now it is 4th and 5. And Enochs will go for it. Harless drops back. Pressure coming. Harless gets taken down by his own lineman.
Oh, no, Keith. That is a disaster for the Eagles. Harless was able to get around the defender, but his own guy got him.
Harless runs right into his tackle Promes. Look at this. You want to talk about self-inflicted penalties. Man, Harless gets by one white jersey. He runs right smack dab in the middle of his own black offensive line.
And I don't blame Promes. Obviously, he's one of the biggest boys out there on the field. You see somebody near you, you're going to want to hit him down. He didn't know that was his quarterback running into him.
And that is a tough break for Enochs because it looked like there was a possibility of Harless converting that 4th down. Now Turlock sets up shop from the Enoch 49. Lin pitches it out to Gilbert. Gilbert turns the corner, and he'll get about a gain of what looks to be 4.
Good tackling over there. The Enochs Eagles defense, pursuit-wise, is just doing a great job. That last touchdown they gave up was a fluke. It was a really crazy play. You can't hold your head down about that. You got to go right back out there, and you need to get this ball back. For the Eagles, let's see if they can force a turnover here, Keith. There's been no turnovers here in this game so far other than the downs variety. Santana,
the free safety, traveled nearly the length of the entire field to make that stop. He has been everywhere tonight. They go up the middle, this time to Gilbert, and that is stopped short completely.
No gain there whatsoever. Another good stop. Bring up 3rd and long.
Prasad, the middle linebacker, with the tackle. So now it's 3rd and long, and at this point, it might just well be 2nd and long because, let's face it, Turlock has gone for it literally the last couple of times on 4th down, the last time they've had the ball. Couple of times.
Yeah, a handful of times. This half and in last half, I feel like there must be something going on with the punting situation. Maybe the punter's hurt or maybe they don't want to punt tonight, but clearly they have not done it once.
3rd down. Lin avoids the pressure. Now going to run, and Lin is taken down. It was by Bullard, number 35, who got a hold of Lin's jersey. No horse collar call, and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, you took the thought out of my brain. That was very close to being a horse collar. It's on the opposite side of the field, so we don't have necessarily the close-up view of it, but the officials were right on top of it, and that, again, puts them in what you would think would be a punting situation, but as we've been mentioning, they're not doing any punting. So a 4th and 8, this is a very big play for the Eagles defense. Same as the last 4th down. You get a stop here, you're right back at midfield.
Rios Rogers, number 14, has checked into the football game. It's a 2 wide out set to the right, which includes both Baldwin and Pena. Lin rolls right. Has a man. It's caught by Baldwin. First down for the Bulldogs. And a big-time grab there by Holden Baldwin to get them to the Enoch 35. Another 4th down conversion.
That is a backbreaker. What the Enochs Eagles were doing in the first half, stopping them on all those 4th downs, they're not doing here. They're 2 for 2 so far in the second half. Are the Bulldogs on 4th down? You got to give them credit. Check the replay out here. Roll out from Lin, and he finds the receiver. The one spot that receiver was open, and he got it to him. Great play from Dalton Lin.
Officially inside 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And this time Lin will scramble up the middle for a big gain. Still going as he makes the extra dive. Another first down as Dalton Lin uses his legs, and it propels the Bulldogs to the 23-yard line of Enochs.
What a fake there from Lin. He had me watching Cade Gilbert in the backfield on that one.
Dalton Lin, as we noted, is a wide receiver usually on this team. Brock Paisley nursing that sprained ankle. He can't go tonight. Lin in at quarterback like he was in the old JV days, and he uses those legs of his to convert another first down. Lin keeps it again, and this time there's no fooling that defense, and Mr. Bullard, number 35, he eats that one right up.
Hey, we've seen some great defense on both sides of the ball right now. Of course, Turlock giving up 0 points, but I will say, Keith, of all the defenders we've seen out here tonight, Bullard is the one catching my eye. He has made so many tackles, so many plays. He is all over the field. Great job out here from Bullard as you watch that play. Takes him down for a 5-yard loss. It's a big play there for him.
So now it is 2nd and long. Gilbert this time gets the handoff. Cade Gilbert still going. It's first down, and it's inside the 15-yard line. So Lin doesn't keep it. He'll give it to Gilbert, and it's a first down.
What a play there. Give him 17 yards, and on a 2nd and long, the last thing the Eagles wanted to do there. This is a huge drive for them defensively. It looks like they'll mark him about a half-yard short. Nope, going to move the chains now. First down, Keith, and that's a backbreaker.
Now the football inside the 15-yard line, and it's desperation time for Enochs. They cannot allow another 7 points. Handoff up the middle as getting that one is Mr. Gilbert. For a gain of about 2 or 3, he was met there by Quintana, number 21. James Peterson said this was going to be a fight till midnight. It is their slogan. They always say in football, play till 4 quarters. James Peterson tells his Bulldogs, we're going to fight till midnight. It has become a team slogan because no football game, he says, in high school has ever lasted past midnight. A fake to Gilbert. A throw. A catch. It's in. Touchdown. Turlock Bulldogs. What a grab. Mr. Miguel Pena. He's dropped some tonight, and he snags some, and he snags a touchdown. It's 20-0 Turlock.
And watch that young man Dalton Lin celebrate here on that touchdown throw, and you give him all the credit here. Dalton Lin has looked really good at quarterback here tonight. What a pass there, and what a catch. Holding on to it, taking the hit. Touchdown.
And so now Turlock is up 20-0, pending this extra PAT. And, man, if you're Enochs, you got to put some points on the board very, very soon.
Yeah, definitely. With this next drive, I mean, especially we're nearing the end of the third quarter here. Not very much time left to turn around a 21-point deficit against a defense like the Turlock Bulldogs.
And we're going to get a flag here. It's a false start, so we'll push this one back 5 yards for this extra PAT. And, man, you knew that Turlock, Dustin Patchett, was going to come out and give them their best shot in the second half, only up 7-0. But, man, Dalton Lin throwing the football in this second half so far, he has been on the money.
Yes, and those 2 4th-down conversions, 4th and 13 and 4th and 8, I mean, those are backbreakers for the Eagles. You know, you're not getting the punts that you were expecting. You got to stop them on those plays.
Angel's PAT is inside the post, and it's 21-0. Turlock with under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter here from Joseph A. Gregori Stadium. And man, how the tables have turned. 1-7-0, now 21-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. We'd like to thank our sponsors once again. The Turlock Bulldogs Quarterback Club is proud of their players, from their academics to their leadership accomplishments to their on-field championships. We would like to thank our community's businesses, individuals, alumni, and families for all their financial support for all our football teams. Please join us at Latif's every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. sharp after every football game. You can hear from the players themselves, from all 3 teams, and their coaches. And Benton Roberson CPA, serving Stanislaus and Tuolumne counties. Welcome back. 1:48 in the third quarter. Keith Jogananis, Dustin Padgett. 21-0 Turlock after Dalton Lin connects with Miguel Pena. What a pass it was, and what a catch, and what a touchdown.
Hey, not only is Dalton Lin doing what they asked him to do, but he's doing more than they asked him to do. He's having himself a really good game. He's completed nearly all of his passes. Frankly, Keith, I'm wondering next week whether they decide to leave Lin in there or go back to Paisley. I mean, Lin's having himself such a great game, it's tough to take him out.
Angel boots this one towards the right pylon. Quintana will let this one roll out of bounds.
Touchback. Wow, that's the first touchback I think we've seen all season long at this high school level, Keith.
Angel has been booming them as every single kickoff has progressed, and that one gives them a touchback. And so now if you are Enochs, you have to put up some points. There is no question about it.
You got to move the ball down the field. You got to abandon the running game completely at this point, in my opinion. If you want any opportunity, you're down by 21, not enough time to continue to run the rock. So let's see if they throw the ball on nearly every play for the rest of this quarter and 2 minutes we have left.
1st and 10 from the Eagle 20-yard line. Pressure coming. They get Harless. What a sack, and it might have been a fumble on the ground.
It was, Keith. Definitely a fumble there.
Enochs will recover the ball here as it will be placed at the 10-yard line. But, man, that defensive line for Turlock came like wildfire.
Watch this replay here. As you see, he had no chance. I mean, immediately they were in the backfield.
The definition of the cavalry is coming. What a sack. And we talked about it. Turlock, who had no sacks in the first half, they get their first of the contest tonight. They've had 3 or more each of the last 3 weeks during this winning streak. This defensive line, we talked to James Peterson. He's been impressed by their toughness. 2nd and 20. It's an end around, and tripping on his own feet is Hendricks. And now this is going to be 3rd and way, way, way long.
Right, and they're almost in their own end zone at this point. If they don't get some yards here, they're going to be punting right out of the end zone.
So now we will see what Enochs has in store here on 3rd down.
Well, there's no plays in the playbook for a 3rd and 26, Keith.
Well, it is a given. They are going to have to throw the football here, and they have had some success. Luis Guizar had the catch, but he fumbled it right away on the big-time 1st down conversion. What do they do here? Harless with time, tries to step up, and he goes down, no problem, as Masihi collects sack number 2 on the night for Turlock. Salute, young man.
This Bulldogs defense is something else, Keith. They're really showing up this past few weeks. They've just been doing everything right. And at this point, they're looking to pitch a shutout. 1 quarter left to go, and as far as the Eagles' offense goes, we've seen nothing. No positive plays, really. The one long game they had, as you mentioned, there was a fumble. So that'll be the end of our quarter here.
And we will go to the 4th quarter. It is a 3-score game in favor of the Turlock Bulldogs. They are 1 quarter away from going to a 4th consecutive win here on NorCal Sports TV. And while we have this break in the action, I want to thank our sponsors. American Asphalt, taking care of business. FitPro GO, who will be our FitPro GO player of the game? Stay tuned to find out. And, of course, Sonora Conference Center, now open in downtown Sonora. and Willie's Pizza and Wings, located at 2050 East Canal Drive. And how can we forget the NorCal Summer Basketball Camp, overnight week-long basketball camp for boys and girls, coming in the summer of 2020 to Sonora, California. Welcome back to the start of the fourth quarter. It is fourth down for the Enochs Eagles from deep inside their own backyard. As Cade Gilbert setting up shop at around the 38-yard line to return this punt. That one's a low dribbler, and it'll be spotted at the 45. And while we have this break in the action, I'll give you some updates as Ripon leads Escalon 35-21 with 10:08 in the fourth quarter. Downey leads Gregory 20-0 at halftime. Big implications there because if Enoch should lose, they go to 1-2 in CCAL. Downey would go to 2-1 as even though Turlock has the tiebreaker, Gregory would go to 2-1, and that would actually propel Downey into a tie, or actually second place with the tiebreaker, with Turlock would have sole possession of the CCAL. Lin back to pass. Floats it left. Incomplete as Gilbert was looking back over his shoulder, D-Padge, and he could not find that football.
That was a well-designed play, and he had his man there on that one, Keith. But as you mentioned, Gilbert was turned around backwards and was unable to make the catch.
So now it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 46. And we talked about it, Turlock, they started off slow, only 7 points, Dustin Padgett, but they picked up the offense here in the second half, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, Keith, they're really showing their dominance here tonight. And if you're the Enochs Eagles, you know, this has been a rough game.
Pressure coming. Lin steps up now, going to take off and run. Dalton Lin with room down the right sideline. Dalton Lin cutting it back in, still going towards the goal line. Touchdown, Turlock Bulldogs. Dalton Lin scores it on the scrambler. Holy guacamole. Salute, young man. Dalton Lin, what a play. Holy cow, it's a touchdown, and that might be the backbreaker.
Play of the season, Keith. What a run here from Lin. He was stopped in the backfield, you saw there a little bit, was able to get around that corner and show off his speed and his strength on the goal line.
Dalton Lin, what can you say about this young man? On literally 1 week's notice, he answered the call to be the quarterback. Brock Paisley had the sprained ankle. Dalton Lin says, no problem. My feet are fine while you heal up, big brother. And he puts it in. Holy guacamole. The PAT by Angel Good, and that might just be the dagger. 28-0 Turlock with 11:27 remaining in the fourth quarter. Man, what a play.
Yeah, Keith, that might have been the play of the season so far that we have seen, at least on NorCal Sports TV here. You know, as I said, he was in the backfield, looked like he had nothing going, and then before you know it, he goes 50 yards for a touchdown.
All I can say is we save every clip here at NorCal Sports TV. I don't like to talk about things that might not come true, but I know what's going to come true. That's going on the internet.
Yeah, that'll be somewhere to be seen. Maybe a Sports Center highlight. We've seen that before on NorCal Sports TV. If you recall, a couple years ago, we had a basketball play that ended up making Sports Center's top 10, so don't be surprised.
Man, oh man, Dalton Lin, a young man who they've used on this team as a running back and defensive back, but like James Peterson has always said, each and every one of these guys, Lin, one of these 35 seniors on this roster, they've got each other's backs. That is for sure. Angel sends this one around the 15-yard line. That one picked up. And that ball is on the ground, and it's picked up by Turlock. The touchdown by Lin, the fumble on the next kickoff, and the recovery by the Bulldogs. Turlock is lights out right now.
And we have the Enochs guy down here, the one who got hit right in the bread basket and probably knocked the air out of him, we hope is the only thing here. But what a hit that was, Keith, to force that ball loose. And you know what? He was hit so hard, that ball popped out about 10 yards down the field.
As the injured Eagle is Sawyer. And we will hope that Sawyer is okay. He has had a tremendous season so far for this team. And you want to talk about as Sawyer, who has 234 yards. He's the leading rusher on Enochs. He's able to walk it off, and we hope that he's okay. But you want to talk about a run. Dalton Lin. Words cannot describe how that pocket was closing, how he was able to step up, and he is so fast, Dustin Padgett. You just seen it. He has 1 inch of daylight, and he's gone.
Right, and we've seen that before from Lin, as you see again here on the replay. And I don't know what the most impressive part about that run was, Keith. Was it him stepping up in the pocket, or was it him finishing the last 5 yards off by taking 3 defenders in the end zone? He's a small guy, Keith, not very big.
It's kind of like a great movie. Did you like the opening with the scramble in the pocket? Did you like him turning the corner? Did you like him just trudging along to the goal line? Gonzalez up the middle for a gain of about 2, and man, oh man, Dalton Lin showing you what he can do. That is going on the highlight reel for sure.
Yeah, definitely, Keith. And now what you look to see from Dalton Lin and the Bulldogs here is to keep your players healthy. You want to finish this game off. Expect them to run the clock as much as possible here over this next possession. I expect them to take the play clock down as far as they can. You're up 28-0. You can't really do much more. Just try to get this game done.
Frias and Gonzalez out as Rumeyer, who had a touchdown against Modesto last week, will check in, and Gilbert as well in the backfield. They go up the middle to Gilbert as he will inch closer and closer to that first down marker as Gilbert is tackled at around what looks to be the 20-yard line, or excuse me, the 25-yard line. And, what can you say about this Turlock team? 3 straight victories, and I talked to James Peterson this week. I said, how do you keep these guys amped? I mean, obviously, with the amount of attention you're receiving and the big heads that could possibly, destruct this team, he says everyone is invested in one thing, and that is winning and focusing on the next game. And as long as we focus on that, we'll be okay. It's a fake and a scramble by Lin now. Lin now going to the left side, flag down as Lin tackled on the left side out of bounds, and we'll see what the flag is on.
May get our first holding penalty of the game, Keith. I'm surprised to say that.
And it is a holding penalty, and it is on Turlock, so that will negate the run by Lin. But getting back to what Peterson talked about, this week is obviously as the season draws to an end, Turlock is looked upon by many as one of the most dominant teams in Central California, and they have, during this 3-game winning streak, they have made statements. They lose to Central 41-13, and ever since then, they have just been playing lights out.
Yeah, Turlock right now, Keith, not only are they going to have sole possession likely of the conference right now, but moving forward, they may be a title contender. They're playing their best football of the season at the right time.
Play action. Lin loses the football, and it's picked up by Enochs at the Turlock 45. And coming up with that one, a big-time play there for the Eagles.
I feel like that was the only thing the Bulldogs didn't want to see here was either an injury or a turnover here. And what a job there. What a strip.
And it was Bullard who stripped it loose. Who else?
Right, we've been calling Bullard's name all game long, and that was a great play there. Lin's got to protect the ball a little bit. He would have been best suited just to go down there. He had a couple guys right on his tail, but, hey, Lin never wants to go down, Keith.
So now with 9:26 to go in the fourth quarter, Enochs will look to try to finally put their first points up on the board. They go up the middle, and it is a hard-fought run by Sawyer, who was shaken up on the last kickoff return. He gets this one out to the 50 for a gain of 5.
Good run there, Keith, and you're down by 28 points, only 9 minutes left. There's not very many chances here to win this game, so that's why you saw them run it here. You're not going to try to score 4 touchdowns right now. You really just want to gain some momentum going on into next week. You don't want to be goose-egged. So let's see if the Enochs Eagles can go down and get 7 on the board here, Keith.
So now 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. They fake the jet sweep. Harless throws it right, incomplete as White had his hands on it, and they're going to throw a flag here, and it's likely going to be PI on the Bulldogs.
Good call there from the officials. He was all over him on that one.
Hendricks, the intended target. And that will move the football to the 35-yard line for Enochs, and This is a team, Enochs, that came in. They were saying, maybe we have a shot to beat Turlock, and it's easier said than done, as most teams in the CCAL are finding out this season.
Right said, Keith. They had a good first half. It was only a 7-point game at halftime. Turlock, give them all the credit in the world for going into the locker room and making sure that they came out and played the second half that they needed to play tonight.
So 1st and 10 from the 35. Pressure coming. Harless steps up and throws it. That one is caught at the left side. And still going is Santana, who gets a first down, and this ball is at the 10-yard line.
Best thrown ball today from Harless. That was a really good job. He had a defender right there, but he was able to find that little window to get the completion, as you see on the replay here. Could have been an interception, but he finds that little gap right there to get the completion.
So now Harless and the Eagles will speed it up here as they look to put this football in the end zone. Turlock talked about wanting a goose egg this week on defense. They are very close to that. Enochs knocking on the door here for some points finally. Harless looking for somebody. Now going to take it himself as he is pushed out of bounds by Rogers. Going to be stopped at the 11-yard line.
Give him about 4 yards there on first down.
8:04 to play. So Harless and the Eagles with their most productive drive of the game. And for Turlock, should they close this one out barring anything crazy, obviously the game's still going on. They would play Grigori next week, who is currently down to Downey in that one. Harless throws left. That one is deflected and broken up. And that was great pass coverage there by the Bulldogs. Specifically Cruz, number 24.
2 more chances here for the Eagles to get in, and wonder with about 8 minutes left to go, if they do score, if we might see an onside kick.
You would have to think that Enochs is still wanting to be competitive in this game. First, you got to get the touchdown here, though. Harless goes up the middle as he hands it off to his man. That was Cervantes, who inches closer and closer, and he's down at around the 5-yard line.
Looks like they'll give him the first down on it based on where the side ref is.
Clock continues to run here as the Eagles go into a mini hurry-up offense, 7:50 to play. Harless looks left. Touchdown, Enochs High School. What a grab. And Enochs is finally on the board after that touchdown pass.
Give them credit there, Keith, for not only getting the turnover, but then going down and getting in the end zone. Good offense here for the Enochs Eagles on their homecoming night, putting up some points.
And it was Santana, number 8, who snagged the touchdown. Extra point is good, and Enochs is on the board as it is now 28-7 Turlock with 7:31 remaining. So Enochs on the board here. Down but not out just yet here on NorCal Sports TV. We'd like to thank some of our sponsors while we have this break in the action. American Asphalt taking care of business. FitPro GO, who will be our FitPro GO player of the game? Stay tuned to find out. And the Sonora Conference Center, now open in downtown Sonora. Willie's Pizza and Wings, located at 2050 East Canal Drive. And, of course, coming soon, the NorCal Summer Basketball Camp, overnight week-long basketball camp for boys and girls coming summer of 2020 to Sonora, California. Welcome back, Keith Jogananis, Dustin Padgett. Touchdown grab by Santana from inside the 5-yard line from Harless, the QB, makes it 28-7. So now we wait and see what Enochs will do here. Will they onside it, or will they just kick it off regularly?
I don't see why they wouldn't onside it. I mean, you have just enough time, I say, to maybe get 3 more touchdowns if you get the ball back here quickly. So, you don't want to give up yet. This is an important game still. You got 8 minutes. You got all your timeouts left. So, don't kick it deep, because you kick it deep, Turlock's just going to run clock.
And they will onside kick it. That ball goes up in the air. It is snagged for the time being. What a grab by Macias. That ball popped up right in Macias. He got drilled, and he was able to snag it and remain with possession.
Perfect onside kick there. Almost a better attempt of the onside than we would see like in the NFL this year. We haven't seen one of them, and I liked that. They gave themselves the opportunity, and they laid a big hit out too. So, you give all the credit in the world there to Macias, because he was able to hold on to that rock.
Victor Macias with the great hands there as this ball placed at the Turlock 44-yard line to start this drive. And now Turlock will try to do what they've done all year, which is what they've excelled at, running the football and melting the remainder of this clock. They hand it off up the middle. That's going to be a loss as Mr. Bullard in on the tackle again.
And if you're the Bulldogs here, I don't mind that. The only thing you don't want to see is what we saw on the last drive is a turnover. You're not gaining any yards there, but even if they go 3 and out here, they could take 2 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock of a 7-minute game. That'll be helpful for them. So expect to see them run it again here and to take that play clock down as far as possible, Keith.
Gonzalez with the last carry, stopped in the backfield. Up the middle to Gilbert this time. Gilbert breaks free. Gilbert still going. Out to around the 30-yard line. Gilbert still on his feet. And a big-time run for a first down. And that takes the crowd and the noise right out of it.
Yeah, that is huge there. It was 2nd and 13, and you knew that they were going to run. They ran it up the middle, but sometimes, that Bulldogs offensive line just gets the job done. And, right there he had a huge hole right up the middle, Keith. There was nobody in sight.
Gilbert, who in the process of that run took 2 or more black jerseys with him at once. What a play. Gilbert used primarily as a punt returner, a junior on this team, which is very, very rare considering you've got 35 seniors in total. They give it to Gonzalez. It's a sweep out to the right. Gonzalez cuts it back inside, still going, has the first down and more, and they move the chains once again.
And more importantly, they're running the clock.
So now 6:10 remaining in the first quarter, and that clock just continues to tick down as Turlock has all but sealed this one up for a 4th consecutive win. And, man, what can you say about this team? They are just on and clicking at the right time.
Yeah, but they can't let up because next week they have a huge game coming up versus Grigori.
And we'll give you an update on that one in a minute as up the middle once again is Gilbert. He'll get inside the 10-yard line with that one. Turlock right where they want to be with 5:40 to play as that clock continues to wind down.
You begin to wonder now if the Eagles' defensive front is finally starting to get a little worn down and tired here. These last few runs, the Bulldogs are really getting up there.
We're going to get a stoppage here.
Offsides.
It's going to be an offsides, like you mentioned, on Turlock.
That'll give them a first down on that.
It'll be another first down. First and goal.
Taking their time, letting that clock drip down.
They go up the middle. Still going, but it'll be stopped short of the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal now.
Yeah, it looks like he actually only gained about a yard there. Good job from the defensive front of the Eagles to hold him.
And so now with 4:45 to play, Turlock will melt this clock as much as they can. Gonzalez up the middle, and he stopped well short of that, and it's going to be 3rd and goal.
Good job there for the Eagles defense, and also a good thing there for the Bulldogs. Just keep the clock running, keep the ball in play, don't get any injuries, move on to the next game.
Yes, indeed, as Turlock, who will play Grigori next week. What a string of games they have gone on, and they've answered the bell with every single turn, Dustin Patchett. Lin will keep it. Lin up the middle, still going. He'll be stopped well short, and that will bring up 4th down.
Likely going to see a field goal here from Angel, but hey, they've gone for it on every other 4th down. But right now you're on the red zone. Don't need any touchdowns for sure, and there they get the field goal unit trotting on.
Yes, indeed, as it'll be 4th down now, so Angel will come out to attempt the field goal, as it will be what looks to be a 15-yarder. More closer to a 20-yarder, excuse me.
Yes, 15 yards impossible. 17 would be the shortest you could have on the 1.
Angel bangs it through the uprights, and that will tack on 3 more points for Turlock, and it is now 31-7. Turlock, and that all but seals it with 3 minutes to go. And if you're Enochs, you came into this game with such high expectations, and obviously it's tough. I mean, these guys really believe they could win, and when you come up short, it's tough.
And you know what? The Eagles' defense, even though, as you see at the end of the game, there's 31 points on the board, that does not show at all how this game played out or how their defense played. Their defense played a lot better than the 31 points that we see. If you're going to watch the box score tomorrow, you see 31-7, and you're going to assume this was a blowout. That was not the case. This was a 7-point game at halftime. Eagles played really well. The 2 touchdowns that the Turlock Bulldogs got in the 3rd quarter on 4th downs were really huge for them. That was the changer of this game, though, what really comes down to it. And I've been looking at it even before the long 50-yard touchdown run. Like to have Dalton Lin as the FitPro GO Pro player of my game here tonight, Keith.
Yes, as Dalton Lin, who came in at quarterback, did what he was supposed to do and then some. He threw for a touchdown, and he ran for a touchdown. Dalton Lin, the FitPro GO player of the game, no doubt, as Dustin Patchett. You're going to give it to him, and deservingly so. This kickoff snagged out of the air by Quintana as he's still on his feet, and Quintana goes up the middle. A great return there to the 35.
Yeah, and if he slips by that last guy, doesn't fall down, he might have had a chance to make that a house call here. Enochs, you got 3 timeouts left, only 3 minutes. You're down by 24. No solution there to score 24 points. However, they would like to finish strong. They scored a touchdown on their last drive. They would love to go down and get another touchdown here, Keith. That would kind of give them a little bit of hope moving forward into next week in this conference where they're going to fall to 1-3 and really be in the hole facing the 8 ball here, because you've got 3 teams ahead of you in Grigori, Downey, and Turlock that you're chasing in the division.
And if you're a big football fan locally, Escalon is now down 42-21 in that affair. We are still awaiting an update on Grigori and Downey. At the last update we gave you was 12-0 Downey at halftime, and obviously a loss for Grigori would catapult Turlock into sole possession of the Sea Cow. And this is a team in Turlock, as we mentioned, they have just been firing on all cylinders non-stop this week and the last couple of weeks, and tonight they are just showing once again they might be the best team in Central California. Up the middle, big-time run there, as going through the trenches is Quintana to the 50-yard line for a 1st down.
Like what I see from the Eagles here in the 4th quarter, Keith. Once we realized this game was out of reach at 28-0, and then they fumbled the kickoff. They could have said this game could have been written off. They could have gone down 42-0 or something like that. Instead, they're really fighting hard at the end of this game.
So now 2:30 to play. They go up the middle again, and a big-time hit there after a gain of 5. And, man, you want to talk about laying the wood as Evans comes up and lays a big hit.
And he was one of the last lines of defense there. That might have been broken for a touchdown. You got to give credit for the tackling there. That's the 2nd time on this drive that we've seen a good tackle to save a lot larger of a gain.
And we are going to be under 2 minutes after this play as for Turlock, a 4th consecutive win, and more on that in a minute. Jet sweep to the left. first down as McMillan gets the call on the sweep, and he will get a big gain there as that ball now is inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Keith, like I said, they're looking to go and get a touchdown here and to finish this game off in the right way.
So now that ball at the 34-yard line with 1:40 to play, and Turlock, 4 weeks in a row now, they've walked off a Friday night field with a win. It's got to feel good. They are clicking on all cylinders, we mentioned multiple times at the right time.
Yeah, Keith, they played an amazing third quarter. The third quarter was the catalyst of this game, for sure.
Play fake. Down the middle, and it's caught. And it's going to be a touchdown for Enochs as Luis Guizar, who fumbled the last catch he had, doesn't fumble here, and it's a touchdown for Enochs High.
What a play there, Keith. That ball was over his shoulder in the wrong direction, but he was able to get the eye of it, turn around and catch that ball, get into the end zone. Great pass, great catch. Watch this. He's turned around the wrong way, but ain't no worries. I'm in there for the touchdown.
Ain't no worries, but there are some points. And so now the PAT for Enochs. The extra point is good. And that will cut the lead to 17 with 1:15 to play here as Enochs, they are fighting till the very end. You have to give them credit.
Yeah, I'm sure they're very happy with the way they finished this game. Coach is going to be pleased with the fact that they did not just give it up and let it go. You know, you're down 28-0. Obviously, you weren't going to win, but hey, they turned around a 28-point deficit into now a 17-point deficit. So they've outscored them 14-3 here in the fourth quarter, Keith.
Yes, indeed, as Enochs, those Eagles who had 40 in the loss to Downey, still fighting, still going. They'll still be 500 after this game. And they will be a team on the rise these next couple of years. They have been building a program for some time.
Yes, Keith, definitely. And they've got a good base here. They've got good fans. Fans have not left. That's one thing I like to see, usually in a game like this, even though it's homecoming, you're down 28-0 in the fourth quarter, a lot of fans could take off. Nobody's left here, Keith. Everybody's still here having a good time.
The mark of a good fan base. Support your team when they're winning, and you also support them when they're losing, and that's what these Enochs faithful have been doing throughout this contest, no matter how down or how many points their team has scored.
We get one more onside kick opportunity here, Keith, and if this is unsuccessful, doubt they're going to use their 3 timeouts to try to stop them. Only a minute left, so see what happens on the onside kick. Could be our final play of the game.
And this onside kick is caught no problem by Roberts, number 25, as that ball hit the 46-yard line.
Yeah, no bounce on that one. Not as nearly as good as the onside kick attempt they had the last time. That one there was an easy one recovered for the Bulldogs. And unless the Eagles decide to use their 3 timeouts here to try to stop the clock, that'll be the end of the line.
So now Turlock will come out for what is likely going to be the victory formation. Tyson Weatherby comes in. And for Turlock, win number 4 is just around the corner, and a team that no one wants to see come playoff time, that is for sure. Jet sweep to the right. Estacio will get about 4 there as he is taken down.
And we should have one more play here upcoming. And as you mentioned, likely see the victory formation. I'm surprised they didn't put it out right there. You don't want any injuries late game, but, we'll see what they do here, under 45 seconds left to go.
Likely a situation where Coach Peterson wants to get some more guys to rock, get as many guys involved as possible in a win like this when you have some downtime. Under 40 seconds to play. And that give is to Macias. As you got under 30 seconds to go, as Turlock now will go to 6-2 on the season. Enochs will go back to 500 at 4-4. And now the crowd cheers as Dominic Albano, number 30, checks into the game here. A safety wide receiver, the senior, as Albano checks in. Much to the delight of the student section.
Yes, definitely must be a storyline to that we are unaware of, unfortunately. But we can't know the ins and outs of these young men's lives. We can only know as much as we can.
Checking out is Gizar, who caught the last touchdown pass.
Was there a timeout called here, Keith?
3 seconds remaining in the contest.
So it looks like Enochs probably called a timeout so they could get that young man onto the field.
Albano at 5'5" is very small compared to every player on this team who's averaging at least 5'9" or more. Definitely like to see everyone get involved here in high school football, no matter the size or the weight.
Truer words couldn't have been said, Keith.
They hand it off to Macias, who's still going. He's tackled around what looks to be the 50-yard line. And that, with 13 seconds remaining, likely will be the final play of the game. As this clock ticks to under 10 seconds, Turlock will opt not to run another play, and that will do it. The Turlock Bulldogs come into Grigori Stadium. They walk out with their 4th straight consecutive victory. They go to 6-2 on the year. They beat Enochs 31-14. That is the final, and now it is time for our FitPro GO player of the game. No more suspense needed, Dustin Pageant. I think we all know who you're giving it to.
Yeah, Dalton Lin, definitely, Keith. He came in as the backup here tonight, got the start. He knew just a couple of days in advance that, hey, I'm going to be starting tonight. You know, he came out and played not only a good conservative game in the first half, but then he turned up in the second half and said, you know what? I'm tired of being conservative. Let's throw a hook and ladder for a 50-yard touchdown on 4th and 12. Let's run for a 53-yard touchdown run, which was one of the plays of the season that we've seen. And then he threw another touchdown pass. So here in the second half, Dalton Lin, he blew up. And you know what? On a couple of those plays that we saw, I saw him celebrating to the maximum. And you know what? I give him all the credit in the world. That's what you do, young man. You go out there, you make yourself a play like that, and you show up as well as you did tonight. By all means, celebrate those plays as much as you can because they were great. And Dalton Lin tonight, not only was he our FitPro Pro player of the game, but he was the catalyst of this game. He single-handedly took the reins of the football tonight and was able to take Turlock to the victory here, Keith, 31-14.
And to the victory go the Bulldogs of Turlock High School. It is their 4th consecutive win. They are firing on all cylinders, James Peterson and his dogs. They go now to 6-2 on the season, and that will do it. As you see here, our FitPro GO player of the game, Dalton Lin, with maybe the run of the year here on NorCal Sports TV, going the entire way for the big-time touchdown. Man, words can't describe that one. And that will do it here from NorCal Sports TV. Once again, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors, all of our production crew. For my partner, Dustin Pageant, I'm Keith Joganatis, signing off. The final score here from Grigori Field, the Turlock Bulldogs 31, and, of course, the Enochs Eagles 14. For everyone, once again, signing off from NorCal Sports TV. We'll see you back here, same time, same place, different football game. Salute.